Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you'll need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey, happy Monday, everybody. We got a big week coming up ahead right here, so we're going to be breaking it all down today on Piper Academy. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, $67,000 right now. Ethereum pushing over $3,000. News this week, FOMC minutes are going to be coming out. Gold is hitting an all-time high. ETH, ETF decision-making moment is going to be here. It is going to be this week also. And NVDA earnings reports, we're going to unravel a lot today, guys. Stick around. Let's get it. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, and we come at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge. Why? Because knowledge is profit. We tell you this all the time. But I don't tell you by myself. I've got my team here, guys. Let's go ahead and bring them up on here. I got the Trade Fly OC guy. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What's going on, guys? How you doing? I'm going to go ahead and get straight into the chat. I'm going to start rattling off some names because we got a lot of people in here. Chat is very active. I'm loving it. Happy Monday to everyone. Alex O Crypto, my man, my twin, Mr. J. You got beat out by Alex O today. Ninja Glock. Army Piper's in the house, obviously. Jeff E Fresh 80A. Here we go. Okay. All right. Justin Eubanks, Alexander G, best mind in the house. We love you, SoCal girl. All right. Museum of Corruption, BC, Port Court, Blackie Chan, and Eric Wallen, Joe Nickel. Going down the list, Clay, the Great, Lunar Beaches Crypto, LBC. He is part of the fam. Harp, French Toaster, Magnum DeFi, John Foster Crypto, and Eric Wallen. If I didn't say it, I did now. We're going to see your chart probably at some point because we always do.
That's right. The Wallen chart. It's a thing. What's up, OC? How you doing, man? You're muted, brother.
Cricket.
Crickets.
Thank you for that. It was like, all right, do we have audio now? Well,
we have audio.
A pretty rough night. Great. I think it was a pretty rough night. I mean, right here on the southwest Mexico, on Yucatan Peninsula, the heat, oh my God, it just melting facings heat. So we all are using ACs. Everybody here. So the power outage are just a part of right now almost every day. So yesterday at 9, we had a little bit of a power outage, and that made it a little rough. I was not having it yesterday. I was not having it. I even put my hamaca or my hammock outside, almost outside of the house to maybe get a little bit of a fresh air, but it did not work. But yeah, other than that, I'm ready to go.
Just so you guys know, last October, I went and visited. Yes. It was October, right? Was it October when he was there? I came down to Cosville, and I spent time with the OC down there for about a week. It was a great time. However, pause for effect. It was hot and humid as hell. And I told him, I said, dude, I am a spoiled American, man. I am sorry. I got to have more AC. So, hey, it's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel that weather down there
is horrible.
Yeah, it can be brutal down there. It can be absolutely brutal. All right, let's go ahead and get into it because we got a lot to go over today. We got gold at an all-time high. I don't know if you heard that, Trade Fly. I don't know if you know that.
I heard it.
Yes, gold at an all-time high. And then we've got the ETH ETF news coming in this week. Bloomberg saying there's like less than a 10% chance. Or like they're putting it at a 10% chance that it gets approved this week. So we'll see on that. I think that's probably accurate. Given the chance, given that it's a likelihood of 10% that it gets approved, 90% that it's not, I think that's probably the case. And then also we've got some economic data coming in this week too. So we're going to go ahead and jump over into the news. We're going to get into that. Then we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart, see where we're going at. We all have a consensus here. We talked about Bitcoin this morning here on the pre-show, the three of us, and we're going to break it down for the alumni because we love them all.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
Let's jump over into the news and let's get that. Let's go, guys. Fear and greed index is sitting at 70 right now. We're sitting at greed still. This is pretty much where we've been sitting for about the past week. So right here in this ballpark, we hit 74. We've hit 69, 68. Right now, though, we're just sticking around that 70 range there. Jumping over into the crypto bubbles for the day. Let's give it a refresh because I shrunk my screen for this setup. Right now in the daily, mixed markets. You got some things like Pyth is up 7.6%, Theta up 7.2%, Injective 4.4%, WIF is up 9.6%. Some Pepe movement there and Solana movement, but overall a lot of red coming up on the scene here right now. If we look at the hourly, it's starting to bounce back a little bit. But right now, we're red on the daily. Still holding that green on the weekly, though, with Phantom up 30.4%, Arweave up 21.3%, Chainlink still holding gains of 21.8% there, Solana at 22.5%, and Ondo at 19%. Let's jump down here to the market cap and see how we're looking on here and see if we have any big movers. Like I told you guys, Bitcoin holding that $67,000, Ethereum at $3,000, just kind of sideways like we've been for a hot minute here. And I want to give a shout out to Alexo Crypto because Alexo talked about this on the show this morning. If you guys didn't see his morning stream, you guys should. I usually start my day off catching that and getting a little bit of LBC and Alexo into my morning setup, and then I start all my build for the day. So you guys should go check out Alexo videos this morning. He thinks that we're going to be pretty much sideways going into June, and I don't think he is wrong at all. So that's what we're seeing, and that is the trend. So we're going to be looking at that chart here in a minute. Any big movers today? We got HBAR up one slot here. Pepe has moved up one spot. Render has dropped 2. I've got an AI call though. Stick around. You're going to want to know about that. All the AI tokens. I think we got something coming. Are we up 3 positions right now to number 33? The graph moving up 3 positions. Mantle dropping 2. That pretty much sums it up. Casp has dropped down 2 positions, but it's still sitting in that 11.2 to 12.3 range at its end. Again, just ranging. We're not seeing any massive dumps. Sui up a massive 5 spots though to number 45. So let's jump into the Bitcoin liquidation, see what we got going on here for the day. Looking at these guys, we have last 24 hours about 48,500 traders liquidated. Total liquidations 108 million. Nothing major going on here. It looks like a lot of long liquidations because people are trying to long at major resistance, and I don't know why they would do that, but we're going to show you where that's at on the chart. Looking here, though, for the week, this is what I was talking about. We got a lot of economic things going on this week. First off, you see all these Fed speech, lots and lots of Federal Reserve speeches, and their words can do bad things. Words can hurt you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but Federal Reserve words will wreck my portfolio. So, that is what we have going on this week. Looking at Wednesday, though, we're going to get these FOMC minutes. This is the breakdown, the verbatim, word-for-word transcript of what they actually discussed and talked about. And so some really smart people get in there. They break this all down to see how hawkish or dovish the Federal Reserve was, and then they use that data to project market sentiment, if you will, and then it moves markets. So be watching for that. That's going to be on Wednesday there, the 22nd. And then on Thursday, we're going to get our weekly initial jobless claims, how many people filed for unemployment for the week, and then new home sales. I think the new home sales, right now, they're showing that it is going to be an increase here, that home sales are happening, and that is going to be a pump. Now, that's for new home sales, but new home sales month over month, they're showing a drastic decrease from the previous month of April. So if that comes out like that, that means that the economy is slowing down, but it also helps inflation. So that means that people are pumping the brakes. It's kind of a mixed signal there to the Federal Reserve, but definitely going to be looking at that on Thursday. And also Thursday, guys, we're going to have a special guest on. Amy Lives Crypto is going to be live on the show with us on Thursday, so I'm very excited about that. It's going to be a good day for the channel here with all this economic data coming out and Amy Lives Crypto hanging out with us. So, and then on Friday, we're going to close out the week with durable goods orders. This is a major one. This is how many orders retail manufacturers have already on the books and ready to go. So we're going to be looking at that on Friday. So that is what we have for the week there. Jumping over to the earnings calendar, guys. You guys need to know about this one. Right there, Wednesday, after the market close, that is NVIDIA. Now, here's what I got to say about that. Get over there. Get over there. Thank you. NVIDIA right there on Wednesday. It's going to be the 22nd after the market closes. So after the stock market closes for the day, they're going to do that earnings report. And I actually have an article breaking down on this because the last time that we had a big move on NVIDIA, guys, we also had a big AI token pump. So I'm going to be watching closely to see what happens with this earnings report. The projection calls this morning have all gone up. Most analysts have raised their projection of NVIDIA's price. And so if we see that, we can really see the AI tokens rip off with that on Wednesday evening. So keep an eye on that. Let's jump over here and see what they're saying about this, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. So this says, here's what NVIDIA quarter one earnings must deliver to please the shareholders. And if we get down here and look, I'm just going to make this real quick for you, but it's coming in ahead. The street estimate for its first financial quarter on Wednesday may not be sufficient. That's what they're saying right now. But if we go down further and we take a look at what it says here, I'm going to come back to that point there. The NVIDIA has to, what they have to do to make us feel that there's a long runway here. That's its competitors are further behind it than people think, and they won't take much from the share of NVIDIA, from the market share. So it is up 90% for the year. But the big thing that they were doing here is they were calling for these to come up. Where is it at? Let me find it here. That might have been on another article. Anyway, they've gone from like 890 to 1100, 950 to 1200. Most analysts are raising their target price on NVIDIA. And the one that I want to show you here that is going to be a big one, consensus is for the semiconductor behemoth to report $24.5 billion in revenue for the fiscal quarter one. But Meeks expects some investors will be disappointed if NVIDIA does not come in at least 26 billion. So they need to break their projection of 24.5 billion by 1.5 billion for the quarter in order for sentiment to stay super bullish on this. But I think that is very possible. NVIDIA is absolutely crushing it. Their competition is trying to catch up, but they're not close enough to really take anything away from NVIDIA. I think the worst enemy of NVIDIA's stock stabilization, its price security right now, literally is that it's so high and that it's done so well. I think that's its biggest threat. So I'm going to be watching on Wednesday for this data to come out. We might see a lot of volatility in the morning, I'm sure. I think that's going to happen on NVIDIA, and some of the AI coins will play along with that. But if we get these numbers that come in the afternoon after the market close and NVIDIA really just takes off, I think you're going to see those AI tokens just really rip off in the market. And I'm happy for that. So TradeFly OC, your thoughts on
He's
this?
like, I'm up for that one.
Crux, do me a favor in the chat. Can you drop a list there of all of the big AI token plays, just so that people have an idea of what all they are, because I don't want to miss any. And you are the man when it comes to that. So TradeFly, your thoughts on this? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to get Crux to do that while we're talking.
Oh, you weren't cutting me off. I was just kind of doubling down on that, just kind of making a little funsies there. But yeah, dude, NVIDIA, like, it's really tough because their stock is so high right now. Like, I get worried of it, kind of pulling back a little bit, maybe being a little overvalued, but they keep making deals too, or they keep, you keep hearing about them. Like right now, they're bringing, I think it's called like the Omniverse cloud platform. They're actually bringing that to Apple's headset. So the fact that they're starting to get tied in with companies like Apple's starting to rely on them a little bit for that technology. That's bullish. Like, and so that could mean there's still room for them to grow. I'm still a little scared just because of how high the stock is, but I want to go back also to the real estate stuff and tell you what I'm seeing from my perspective, because my wife is a real estate agent. Homes are still selling, and they're still selling pretty fast out here, and the numbers are going up. The value of my home has gone up, even though the interest rates are astronomical, and these homes are still selling, which is, dude, it's wild. Like, I'll be honest with you. I thought it was going to pop. I'll be very transparent there. At some point, like, I thought with the interest rates going so high, it was going to pop, but not here, at least not in SoCal. I can say that's just not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. BC Port Corp, that's Blackie Champ, if you guys don't know, said NVIDIA looking like it's making a bubble, just my opinion. technically every single thing in the market that's doing well right now is in a bubble. Gold,
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
all the
It's
stock
all pretty
markets, the
high.
S&P. Yeah. So as long as everything else stays strong, NVIDIA is not going anywhere. It's not going to be an individual
Is
bubble that pops. It's got the most utility of anything that's pumping right now in the market. Let's be honest. Nobody is doing what NVIDIA is doing on the AI chip front. So
that's
there
huge.
we go.
That's huge.
Crux
That's
got that
such
in
a
there. Near protocol, Tau, Fetch, AGIX, Ocean, which is the whole ASI combo. Those are the top plays. So yeah, there you go. FD White
two
checking
things
in.
there.
What's up, FD?
Two things there. And I love that you said it. It has utility.
Yeah.
That is key. When you're finding things that you want to invest in, especially in traditional stocks, find utility. Like that's massive. Like when I invested in Apple back in 2009, I just saw like everyone had an iPod. Everyone had the iPhone. At that time it was pretty new. Like everyone was getting those. Everyone had MacBooks. That was like the hotness, and it was growing. And so that's why I invested in them, and I didn't have debt. But that's just a massive thing when you're looking to invest in a company. But what do you do to protect yourself from a bubble? I'll wait. I think you guys know. Use a what? Stop loss.
Stop loss.
Right? There it is.
Have you played with the new Chat GPT?
I have not.
It's have OC. Have you?
Oh boy, I haven't paid for it, but I've been
Okay.
like talking up knowledge
I got it up.
all of those videos before I do
All
it.
right.
You got it
Did
up.
you
I
ask
got
if
it
we're in a
up. I'm
bubble?
going to give a sample of it here. This is pretty amazing. This is why I'm bullish on NVIDIA, because this takes a lot of data, guys. This AI front takes chip power, and that is where NVIDIA specializes at. So I got it on here. Let's go ahead and let's hit this button here. Hey, Poppy, what's up?
Hey there, Rick. Just here, ready to dazzle you with my brilliance. What's on your mind today?
Hey, I was wondering how the FOMC data this week, the FOMC minutes that's coming out on Wednesday, how's that probably going to, how could that affect the markets this week?
The FOMC minutes can give insights into the Fed's thinking on interest rates, inflation, and economic growth. If the minutes suggest a more hawkish stance, signaling future rate hikes, the market could react negatively, especially the stock market. Conversely, a dovish tone, indicating a pause or slower rate hikes, might boost investor confidence and drive the market up. Basically, traders will be parsing the minutes for any clues on future policy changes, and their interpretations will drive market movements.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I appreciate you helping me out. You're pretty smart, Poppy.
Thanks, Rick. I do aim to impress. Anything else you're curious about today?
Nope, that's good. I'm getting back to doing my live show.
Did not care about that one.
Break a leg with your show. Catch you later, Rick.
And she said, nice, break a leg with your show. Catch you later, Rick. Yeah, so that is pretty amazing. And I don't know if you guys are tracking this, but that is coming out on the new iPhone 16. It's going to be integrated into the iOS as part of the actual phone. So that's going to require, when they start doing this on computers, they start doing this on all of these other things. The AI front, this is just an example, Chat GPT standing, aside by itself. AI is going to move this drive from better chips and better processing speeds. And when you look at what's going on with the demand for AI chips and what NVIDIA is doing, they fit that bill. So that's why, I think that we're going to see that move off. And to get back into the crypto stage there, the crypto sector, when NVIDIA has made a big pop-off move, the AI tokens have gone with it. So Amy lives crypto in the house. Eric Wallace said that's my new girlfriend. I'm actually going to change her name. It's Poppy right now, but she's going to be Donna 2.0. And if you guys don't know what that is, you should go watch Suits. So there you go. She's going to be my know-it-all assistant.
You see Brock's question?
What do you ask?
How big are cantaloupes?
The ones and zeros. Yeah, take your pick.
Yeah.
OC, what do you think of that? Do you think that we're going to see some movement this week on the AI crypto tokens off of NVIDIA, or is NVIDIA just going to absolutely dump and Sorry, I'm reading chat and take the tokens with it there. Eric Waller, what are you asking when the camera's off? I'll tell you what I ask in a minute. Stick around for the end of the show. I'll tell you what the type of stuff that I ask her to do and what it's amazing. What's so amazing about it. FD White, I do have the paid version, but I think that's free right now while they're testing it because they're letting everyone beta test it so they can smooth it out. OC, your thoughts on it, yo?
Oh, well, I believe that, as you mentioned, as long as we see basically everything else just staying stable, NVIDIA is going to stay stable, and that's going to bring some strength to the AI. I know we need to talk about Bitcoin, right? Because it's about either make or break, and we've been waiting for this zone for, I've been waiting for this zone for months. But before we get there, I just want to say that altcoins, any altcoin, might be moving with Bitcoin, but AI might get stronger as NVIDIA gets stronger. Because remember, guys, we also looked at last week, the copper price is just pumping, right? I mean, chip production, it's pumping, AI development, actual development, it's pumping, and everything is backed up by fiat, right? I mean, when you go and get a graphics card, the usual Joe goes and paid fiat, right? So as long as we see that market's getting stable, I believe that if Bitcoin drops or dumps, we might be seeing those AI tokens stay strong. That doesn't mean that they're not going to drop, but they're going to drop in less manner than other altcoins. But if we see Bitcoin pumps, well, I think that we might be in for a treat this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Matter of fact, speaking of Bitcoin, let's jump over to the chart. Let's take a look at it. Taking a look here, guys, we talked about on Friday that we were likely going to be heading up to that $67,000 range. Also, Alex O had been talking about that area too. And I said it makes sense because that's our 786 here. You guys can see for the entire weekend, that was our resistance point coming in at 67,366. It is the 786 of our Fibonacci's. Matter of fact, if we break it out here, you can see we have pretty much been in between the top of our platinum pocket and the golden pocket, going all the way back here to when we broke it in February. So this is our range right there on the daily. I'm looking at a daily right now. Now, if we bring this in and look at a 4-hour, you guys can see how many times it has knocked on this, and it is poised to go a little bit higher. But where could it be heading to from here if it does break that 786? Well, that's really simple. Let's go to the daily and take a look at what we have here. We have what we famously call here, thanks to OC, the goose head on the Oscillator Pro ribbon here. So these goose heads, guys, they typically, when they start to get that really, looks like a goose's head right there, we typically see it do like right here. And what happened there? It pumped up again. So it comes in on that little goose head, right? It does that little goose head there, and then it does another move up again. And that is what we typically tend to see when we get that pattern on the Oscillator Pro ribbon. And that is what we're poised to do right now, just like we did back here. So I'm going to be watching closely to what happens with that. But if we are to get that movement here, guys, what I think is going to happen is two things. One, we still have this parallel channel that's in here. Let's bring it on. You can see that it's about to come into confluence here with the value area high. That's that purple line running right there. I think that we do break this. We get a retest in here, and then we come up and we meet somewhere here at the end of the week. Right here, hitting the top of this channel, and then hitting that value area high for a retest. Now, when we do that, if we do that, I think it's a win, but I'll say if. When we do that, if we do that, I'm going to be looking for a retest of the platinum pocket, and a confirmed retest there will absolutely kick my bullishness into high gear. That's what I'm seeing right now looking at this. However, be advised, on the daily, we do have a RSI starting to get smaller candles, which could be mean that it's coming back down, but we've had that again before at the same time that we've had those previous goose heads. So we're kind of in a mixed ballpark when we look at the relative strength index in comparison to the Oscillator Pro ribbon. And if we look at that 4-hour and we bring that down here, guys, you'll see that down here on this 4-hour, let me get rid of all the Mexican spaghetti. Right down here on the 4-hour, we're getting a 0-line bounce on the Oscillator Pro, and we're starting to get a 50% bounce on the RSI. So it's looking short-term bullish for me, and possibly moving into long-term bullish. So let's kick it over to TradeFly, take a look at that heat map, see what he's seeing there, and then we'll do a round robin on Bitcoin, and then we'll jump into one more news article talking about Ethereum ETFs, and then we're going to get those alts going. So guys, drop those alts down there in the chat below. TradeFly, what you got for us, man?
So quick question on your chart that you had up. What was your high side of that trend line?
Of that channel, that's going to be somewhere around 70. Wait,
ish.
It's going to be about 70,200.
Okay, right on. Sweet. So yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I try to, find things on the liquidation heat map that kind of tie in to those topside numbers, right? So if you're looking at about 70K up there, I would actually be focused probably a little closer to 69. Why is that? And that's because you have all this liquidity between there and the next blue zone, or maybe black zone that doesn't have a lot of liquidity, right? So it would make sense for the price to move up, clear out that liquidity, and then find some kind of resistance. Obviously, if you see here on the bottom side, this is just under this last area of support that we got. So people went long, and they're still in those long positions. That's why you're seeing this liquidity here at about 64.5, we'll call it. So always a possibility to come visit there. But right now you're looking at the chart, right? So you're looking at the chart, and what you see is a bullish trend. All right. This was a nice move up pretty quick. So it's not surprising to see that little rejection there, a little bit of a pullback, got a cool down, and then it's starting to move back up and right again. This is a pretty nice move up. And right here since yesterday, I mean, look at that. It's just a nice trend up and right, pretty healthy, nothing too crazy, not any, real big wicks up. It's just a nice solid move up and right. So that gives you a little bit of hopium, we'll say, that this can continue up and right. The problem you're going to run into is now we're going to be testing an area of resistance, right? You can see this. It's very, very clear. It's struggling with this area. You only had a wick over there, which tells you there is some selling pressure, especially in the area of about 67.8. But let's tie it into the charts. And this is kind of why I'm looking at that area, right? Because if you take this trend line, I drew mine just a little bit different than Piper's. I kept the wicks out of it. So I had nothing but candle closes. And the reason I did that is because I try to look for confluence on the charts. And, one of the things that I've been looking at is specifically this 2021 high. All right. So that is the high for 2021, but it also correlates with the value area high. All right. So this right here, I think at around 69K, if this gooseneck plays out that they're talking about, I think that's where you're going to meet the resistance. And you just come back left on the chart to find, a little bit more confluence. You can see it was support, breakdown, retest, came up, try to hold it as support again. Look at that. Retest, breakdown, retest. I mean, or no, that actually wasn't retest. That was a little lower. This is another area I'm looking at. I'll talk about that in a second here. But this is just the area that is a very key area. 69K for me is something that I would mark on the charts. I would set an alert on, because I do think you're going to have price action off of that area just based on a lot of things lining up. And it starts with the liquidity. So the other area I'm looking at, and I actually called this out on Trading Wars while we were trading live. We actually did touch this. And I was like, hey, I think this might be an area that you might see a rejection. And it's only based on, remember, this was the point of control. Well, it still is the point of control, but we had that rejection, and then it came down and right. So we're there again. So keep an eye on the area we're at right now. I mean, that's a little area of resistance that we got to make it through before we even get to flirt with the area up here that I've been talking about. So again, keep your eye. I mean, if you're looking at the prime oscillator, I know that, it could be a bullish thing to have this trend go up and right, but a gooseneck can also show you that it's about to flip and reverse on you. So don't go, not financial advice. This is not where I would go long personally, only because in my mind, we are at an area of resistance. I would like to see it break through, honestly, all of this. I know that it's a big stretch. I know there's some value that can be lost between these two areas, but this zone right here, you've heard it from me before. It's a no-no zone. All right. So I would stay clear of that. I would like to get on the top side of this and go for the old OC retest, see something like this, find support, and then is the area I would start looking to go long again. And what you'll see here down on the prime oscillator is it would come down, give it an opportunity to reset, and then you see that go up and right. That would be the play for me.
Okay. Awesome. OC, what do you got there for Bitcoin, man?
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh boy. So first of all, let me just bring up this chart that I've shown you guys till death because you might
Yeah.
be sick and tired of seeing the YCAF thing, right? But so far, I believe that we are right here on LPS, right? So we just had the spring. By the way, I want to double back and double down on trade flags mentioning this is not a place to be longing the LPS, right? But in your place to belonging was either the spring or the spring confirmation. All right. So I'm going to be moving this chart right now, just in case it needs to be adjusted. And here we got it. So we have the spring. We have the spring as a head. Here's your longing entry. If you miss that one, well, then this is your secondary. And remember, we were talking about the confirmation of that spring. All right. And then finally, we had the breakout of the neck. Also, there you go. Breakout retest, your third chance to long Bitcoin. And now it's just a waiting game. I think we are on the second point of LPS, getting ready to burst and then hit the top of an SOS at the top of this channel, the YCAF channel. There's a little caveat here. I don't think that we're ready to break this range. All right. I don't think that we're quite ready to break this range. I believe that we're going to be having the bounce back to the center of the channel here before we see the breakout to the upside. That also lines up with what Piper is seeing, and also with the goose head on daily. Let me just bring up something else in here. And this is a part of my chart from the prediction Bitcoin price. All right. And if you see my prediction, my two predictions, this is the first one right here that we had a run up, had a pump down, a secondary run up, a secondary pump down, and then a breakout of the range here in blue. All right. So guess where we are right now? Seems like it. My prediction was wrong for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days or a week. If I stretch this, and I don't know why I cannot. Let me see if I can grab it. Here we go. If I unlock this and then move this to my right, well, seems like we are right there getting ready to go up as we were expecting to the top of the range, having that pullback and finally breakout, retest, and off we go for ding, 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 ding. I'm not going to be calling any tops just now because my main prediction, it is $500,000 on April on extended period here. So just so you know, I'm gonna just leave everything as is, so we can also keep track on how things are moving and working, based on what is it already, a 4 months prediction already that we have had. So just to see how it edges up. But yeah, other than that, that's what I got for you guys on Bitcoin.
Awesome. We got a list there, guys, in the live chat and our Discord for requests. I want to take Clean Spark, but I got some other ones in there. But I do want to jump over here to the news real fast, just talk about this stuff, guys. Gold prices rise to a new record high of $2,450, now up 23% in 3 months. So gold prices are now up 35% since October. Let me come back in here. There we go. 35% since October, even outperforming the S&P 500's gains of 29%. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate. Gold is being viewed as the global safe haven asset. Meanwhile, world central banks set another all-time record for gold net purchases in quarter one of 2024. So that's what's happening with gold. I told you guys I was going to talk about it, but the big purchasers, it is these central banks all around the world. So Tradefly was talking about this earlier, and I'm sure he's got a little bit of input on that. We'll come back to that in 1 second, but I do want to bring over this other bookmark that I have here on X marks the spot, because there was a little thing here about the CEOs. We're talking about pullbacks and, not continuation, bubbles, this and that. CEO expectations for the U.S. economy have improved for the first time in 2 years. The Conference Board measure of CEO confidence increased to 53 points in quarter one of 2024 from its 46 points in quarter four of 2023. This is the first time the index has crossed above 50 since the first quarter of 2022. And I don't know if you guys remember back then, but it was a bad market back then. People were really scared and selling everything off. That was, pretty much the bear market. It was right after December 2021 when crypto had its high. Everything dumped in there after that. So when the index breaks above 50, it suggests that the U.S. executives have a positive outlook on the economy. In the past, CEO confidence improvement led to an increase of S&P 500 share buybacks. Approximately 6 months later, history says mass buybacks are on the way, which pumped the hell out of the markets, just so you guys know. And you can see here the CEO confidence is this blue, breaking above that zero line there. So this is moving back up above that 50% there at 0%. It's above that 50 line. This indicator tells us that the CEOs, smart money, if you will, they're super bullish right now on what's going on in the markets. And if we do have this, that would be 6 months from now. We're in May. That would be an October, November time period where we start to see another market rally again. So, could the stuff start breaking these resistances that just we don't think we're ready for yet? It is absolutely possible when we look at things like this. So I just wanted to break that out, show you guys a little thing there that not many people talk about, but I watch it. It's the little CEO expectations, and if they are thinking that markets are going to move up, they've got a lot of people working for them, giving them that data, so to make that decision. So, TradeFly, let's kick it over to you first, and we'll just start going down through the list here on some of these assets. What do you got up for us?
All right, I got Mana up for us, and this is probably one of the ugliest charts I've seen in a while, to be honest with you. Has been quite some time since I've really looked at it. We were under the dynamic reactor, but we also had this, you can see the pressure here, the downwards pressure. When it broke out of this little formation here, you could see is a massive breakdown, right? You would want to see it, find some sort of support right here. Well, actually what you got is it broke under that support, it retested it, and then it continued down and right. And it's really hard to say, right? Because I brought this up on Binance. You might have to find an exchange that has a little bit more history, because this pump right here is based on when Binance listed it. So be careful here. I would try to find an exchange that has a little bit more history, because then this area may not look as ugly as it looks to me right now, just for full transparency. But here's what I really, really don't like. Look at this. All right. It's showing you a hit here, like opportunity for it to make a move up. Showing you a hit here, opportunity for it to make a move up. Showing you a hit here, opportunity for it to move up. You're basically getting bullish divergence, just multiple hits. And like, that's usually a very strong indicator, especially when you get 2 to 3 of these for a project or a coin to make a move. You're not getting that. You're actually getting continuation, just down and right, down and right, down and right. Everything here is telling you poo-poo, right? Prime score is a 1, market dump. I got a sound effect for that. There's your little poopy sound. But what I would like to see is for this to move up. All right. This is very, very risky. I'm gonna say right now, if you buy at this point, what you need to see is a reversal of trend. All right. So some short, I'm not even gonna say a V-shaped recovery, but you want to see that this price actually comes up and right. Okay. We want to get over top of this area right here. I made this one blue because this is kind of my line in the sand at about 1.6. All right. Once it gets over top of that, then just very similar to what I was talking about on Bitcoin, you're going to want it to come up. You're going to want to see a retest, and then you're going to want to look for continuation up and right. Okay. So if you see that retest and then you're starting to get these hits of bullish divergence again, might be an opportunity. Tight stop loss here underneath this area right here, just to protect yourself. Okay, because we come back, it's very reasonable that it'll come back and test this area again. So again, this is an opportunity. Tight stop loss, but that's what I'd be looking for before I even flirt with Mana right now.
Yep, I don't disagree with that one bit, man. OC, let's kick it over to you. What you got on the chart, bro?
Absolutely. So right here, I have NOS. So I do have NOS and PIF lined up. So let's take a look at NOS first. It seems like we are following right on schedule. I mean, we are right on schedule, basically following almost any and all of the movements here. I'm leaving everything here, and I'm going to be just about ready to remove things. I want to point something out before I jump into the analysis, right? I want to show you guys this channel that we have in here. Also, I want to show you this trend line that we have in here, all right? The point is, NOS, it's very novel, right? It's very easy play once you start looking at the basics. Look at that. It has low volatility, and I'm going to say that with quotations, right? but so far we can see it really likes to stick to a trend, right? So what are we going to be just doing? Well, just stick with the old basic trusted trend. So let me just remove everything here. And remember, just for a good measure, we were looking at, come on, where are you? It was, there we go. This area for resistance right here, and then for a rejection. Seems like my area of resistance, it is exactly the same, but it just happened faster. So sooner, here we go. And we are right on schedule for the retest. All right, so I have removed everything now. Let me just show you what I'm going to be doing. At this point, we already know that we have a trusted trend line. So the first thing that you can do is either bring up your patterns or your trend lines. But at this case, I'm going to be just drawing them manually. All right. So this is it. This is the one I'm going to be looking at. And also, as with any other trend that we have had a fake out. So at this point, I'm also going to be adding another trend line here. And this trend line goes for the tops in here. And this is to give me a basic understanding on where things might be getting to. Remember that when I start failing to hit those targets, I'm going to be expecting, when I start doing this, all right, I'm going to be expecting either a double top or a lower high, then a breakout, retest, and off we go. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now, all right? Easy peasy. Just add your alerts to your trend lines, and then there we go. Lock them and add your alerts. And once you have that, well, that is just about it. I mean, it's just about the break. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest, entering and following. It's not about the breakout. It's about the retest, entering and following, right? So as easy as that. If you want to complicate a little bit more, well, then we have a little bit more of support below here. But we are just risking to lose that zero line, all right? So what happens if we lose this zero line and we break back down? Well, then we're going to have the breakout, look at where we can be going to, and then retest. It's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, your possible entry, and then off you go for your next value area, and then you just keep moving as you have those support and resistance build up. As you can see, if I bring on my order blocks, it just lights up perfectly once again. So there you go. You can have your two alerts here and then follow up on your order blocks or support and resistance as you better like any of those. So that's what I got, guys. Let me throw it back to you.
Awesome. Shout out to Username. He said that was a Madden playbook. If he's ever seen one, those lines are everywhere. So yeah, absolutely. And shout out to Card Crypto. He said, hello all. Hello to you, man. Thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. I'm going to jump over here into CleanSpark. We had a request for this. Looking at CleanSpark, this is a Bitcoin mining company for those that don't know. But right now, guys, we're just sitting here in this place that I've said is a good buy area. Not financial advice, but for me, this is where I'm accumulating right here. And that's really what price is doing. It's just accumulating in this range. You can take this box back and you can just see how much this has been the bottom going all the way back to, February time period. So in this box here, this is where I look to buy. As long as Bitcoin is holding its price, which it's getting a little bit of a dump right now. But right now, I think that this is a good area in this golden pocket. Also in between the point of control right here from the fixed range volume profile and that value area low, which is right there too. So on top of this golden pocket, very, very key area. We do have the dynamic reactor starting to come up from underneath, and I will watch down here when we get in more into June, July. If we have not moved by then and we're still continuing that sideways move on Bitcoin in its range, that would be where I will see likely uptick, because I don't know at this point of the cycle that we're going to see a break of the dynamic reactor on the daily. If we do, it'll be a quick wick. So keep in mind, though, there is a big CME gap down here. There is a big gap that we could gap down to, and that is why I have this 1042 down here as that buy point, because that is where I bought right there at $10.42. That's what that yellow line is. So that's what I have there for CleanSpark. Looking at the oscillators real fast on this. We're just ranging here in this midline area. We are at the bottom of the cloud, so I do expect that we're likely going to see this come up. Watch for a 786 at $18.88 be the rejection area on the daily. But as of right now, we're in an accumulation area. That's what I got for CleanSpark. TradeFly, let's kick it over to you and let's do another run through, because we got about 15 more minutes here. So.
Right on. So I got rendered up on the daily, and I'm kind of just going back and forth and cross-referencing with Bitcoin. I just wanted to see how similar the patterns are, and they're pretty close. I mean, they're not identical, but they're not far off either. So that tells me that there is a pretty tight correlation with Bitcoin. Well, what does that mean? Like if you're a little bit more, into riskier plays, like one of the things I used to do is I would trade Matic, but I did a lot of my TA on Bitcoin because there was a correlation there, but Matic was just moving exponentially more. It was a way to like play leverage without playing leverage. I feel like it's kind of similar with Render right now. Even though the narrative is a little bit different. Piper said earlier, if NVIDIA pops off, you could see Render make a move as well, right? But what are we looking at on the charts? Well, notice a distinct difference between Manta and what you see with Render, right? We're on top of the dynamic reactor. It's green. You can zoom out a little bit and look at it on the daily. You see a bullish trend up and right? Totally different than what you were seeing on Mana. So it is definitely showing a lot more strength. It's looking pretty decent right now, but you are flirting with this area at the 0.236 at about $11.42. You can see it was a previous resistance and it's still maintaining that, right? So you're kind of running into the same thing. That's why I went back to Bitcoin. I was like, look, you're running into an area of previous resistance and here we go again. So, we could see a little continuation of, that resistance here. We're kind of flirting with $10.43 right now. It looks like it broke down. It's retesting that area. We're kind of stuck in a little bit of a range right now, but we're just under the value area low of this previous range. So that's something you always want to keep an eye on. These will act as support and resistance at times. We're underneath of that right now. So it's kind of tough, man. I'm looking at this right now. I don't know. I think if Bitcoin pulls back, which is definitely a possibility based on what I was talking about with that analysis, we might be looking at about $9.36 or so. But it's the reason I'm a little bit conflicted is because looking at the prime oscillator right now, this is actually, you see how it's starting to flatten out? It looks like it wants to start bending back up, and that would give you a nice little, for me, I like seeing that trend up and right. So I think maybe we could pull back to as low as $9.30 or so. And then the reason I'm keen on that is because if you're just looking, you have support and resistance. It's pretty apparent that there's support resistance in that area. I think you're going to find a little bit of price action that would give this indicator a little bit more time to reset. And if you probably go to like the 4-hour or the hourly, what you're actually going to see is a little bit of bullish divergence. So I'm pretty confident that you'll see that on the oscillator here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, it's hard to give you a prediction on this one because it kind of looks like it's stuck in a little bit of a range here. It's struggling, but topside target, definitely if you're already in a trade, then, looking at this, you see this resistance right here at 1142, you're going to run into that. And then if it does move up there pretty quick, what you will see on the oscillator is it won't have time to actually catch up. So you may actually see a trend down and right, especially on the 4-hour, if you're looking at a move up. And then again, support here at about 930 or so is what I think you're going to find. So right now, I mean, nothing too crazy. The overall structure is definitely bullish. So if you've been in Render for a while, I know we've been talking about it, I think like way back here. If you've been in for a while, you're still safe, I would say. You want to stay and make sure you just keep this dynamic reactor underneath of you. But all is not lost until you come back down to this golden pocket here. So this was actually the play. And I know that we talked about this. This right here, when it hit the golden pocket, it hit the dynamic reactor, and you had the indication here on chart prime, the prime oscillator, saying, hey, you got a little bit of bullish divergence. This is the jam right here. These are the setups that, we really look for. And so you're going to kind of have to kind of wait for this one a little bit, I would say. So it's a quick look at Render.
Yeah, real fast. I'm going to add on that here on the 4-hour. We are getting multiple touches of support on the 382 at $9.85 and hitting on the dynamic reactor there. So this is showing really strong support right now, poised to move with NVIDIA news this week. So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, yep. Good analysis there, man. Render looking pretty decent right now, in my opinion. So OC, let's kick it over to you.
Absolutely. So we have Pipe So, Pyth is looking very good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Something I want to tell you guys is what we usually call the DNA analysis or fingerprint analysis, which is just looking back at the asset and see repetitive patterns, right? One of those patterns, remember, is how it pumps, how it dumps, and how it ranges, right? So, how it dumps? Well, we have a big dump. Oh, come on. All right. So it spoiled it, but let's go and see. All right, big dump, little pump, big dump, big pump, right? Once again, it repeats the pattern. Big pump, little pump. I'm sorry, big dump, little pump. All right. Then next, big dump, big pump. So we have seen now that this trend has been shifting, right? So it's been broken. So we have the play right down here, guys. Do not worry about this. I mean, if you did not cut your entry here, I didn't also. All right. You see that we've been keeping track of this, but I mean, sometimes the trades they just happen and we're not aware of that, right? So I wasn't looking. I did not set my alert. I did not enter in this trade. But how can I maybe try to enter here? Remember, the first things first, we are bullish. We are bearish. We are below the zero line here. We are pretty bearish. We are below dynamic reactor. Nonetheless, we have a positive here. Liquidation zone or liquidity zone, right? So another thing that I want to show you is that liquidity zone next up is very, very, very bearish, all right? So for me, I will not be chasing after the prices, right? I'm going to be waiting for this one to play it out. How is this going to be playing out? Well, this is going to be a reversed, then maybe finding support at these previous areas and then going to hit the next area. I'm counting for the dynamic reactor to come below here. So it is not about the breakout, it's about the retest because we are mostly bearish here, all right? And then off we go to the next area of resistance. So what's going to be my play entry? Right here with breakout, retest, confirmation. Everything before is just to look for that possible entry. Another thing that will be playing out here is going to be an inverse head and shoulder if we have this retest and bounce, right? You can see left shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline will be along every other confluence right there. So that's what I have in Pyth. And before we wrap things up, I want to give you guys two nuggets very fast. I want to keep up on this. I'm looking at maybe taking profits on my GTO trade. This is from spot. And also I've taken 80% profits on my BNB trades on spot, right? Why? Because they already have run 52% and 71%. By the way, this one just retraces a little bit throughout the weekend, but I'm still thinking and seeing when we start breaking the trend line that is being forming here, all right? Why? Because it's always good to pay yourself and then look for another possibility of reentry. I never close my positions fully when I'm on spot. I just take a little bit out. So if it keeps moving upwards, I'm still exposed. So just give you guys that heads up on what I'm doing and then turn it back to you guys.
Awesome. Let's jump over and go over this Ethereum ETF news. Guys, that's going to be coming out this week, and a lot of sell-off has happened, but I want to show you guys among the sell-off what's really happened to the price. Looking here on the news, Crypto Wells offloaded $46 million in Ethereum as market eyes ETF decision. That's supposed to be this week on the 23rd, I believe. Let's get down here and take a look at that. The transaction has stirred considerable attention as the market anticipates U.S. SEC decision on the spot Ethereum exchange traded funds. According to on-chain analysis platform Spot On-Chain, the crypto well identified by the wallet knows the address 15,000 ETH was deposited to Kraken at $3,065 on May 20th. That would be today. And then this marks the first time that a well has moved such a significant amount to Kraken. The profit stems from strategic movements, including withdrawing 120,874 ETH from Kraken at an average price of $1,645 back in September 2022. So they've already made a significant amount of money on this, and it looks like they're poised to sell it. But what really gets bad is that they face another $23 million in outflows amid ETF uncertainty. And here's where we get into that date here. They're supposed to have that date for that on the 23rd. I can't find it in here offhand, but that's when it's supposed to be. The 23rd is when we're supposed to know on the ETF here. And it looks like we had 46 million already that came out, and now we're looking at another 23 million that could be pulling out of that. Now let's jump over to the chart and see what I'm seeing here, because with all of this sell off and all of this sell pressure, guys, Ethereum has really held strong here on its 50%. And I talk all the time about anything above the 50% on a retest is bullish. Anything rejected off of it or a break of it is bearish. And that is where on the daily, we're looking at the daily here, that we've been holding strong here. If we drop it down to the 4 hour, you can see just how many tests the 50% Fibonacci has had here showing support on this. And another thing that I want to point out on here is, despite all of this sell pressure, you can see here on the daily that we're about to hit the 0 line. We might break this a little bit, but it does look like an RSI prime that we're starting to get green here. But I'm not seeing big candles. I'm seeing a lot of wicks. So I do think that we're on the daily. I do think that we're going to see another retest down here to the dynamic reactor, probably in the range of about 29.34 down to about 28.75. That would be the area that I'm watching for support again, which again would be another retest of that 50 and that dynamic reactor on the daily. But if we pull this over and we look at just the chart here, this fib was pulled from the very top of Ethereum's price back in 2021 here, November 2021, when it hit $4,867, down to its bottom wick, which was about $880, okay? And we rejected perfectly on the platinum pocket. We lost the golden pocket, but we tested the 50. All of this bullish support down there on the 50 tells me that we might be seeing a move to the upside. Can we get confirmation of that? Well, absolutely. Let's go ahead and throw a little parallel channel on here, and you'll see that we are about to hit this level here. If we hit this level, this upper line of the parallel channel, that would indicate a downside move. So we're at resistance right now on this pattern, but this is a bullish pattern. And if we get that bullish move out of this, something happens where, we get this another bounce down here, shakes a lot of people out with this ETF news, because I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, it's like a 10% chance right now, according to Bloomberg analyst, that it does get approved. But we get that bounce down here, maybe wick below it to grab liquidity from all of these areas here, and then get a 50% line of this channel bounce. That would be the bullish breakout that I would watch for on this. And that would be where we could really see a parabolic move come on Ethereum. So right now, be careful with it. We do have a lot of bearish data that's coming out on this. But overall, guys, that's what we're looking at there on Ethereum with that pattern. We got strong support at the 50. We've got a bullish pattern that is trading in, and we do have the dynamic reactor on the daily sitting right below us for support. So a lot of confluence says it could be a trap if it does push down, and that's going to get a lot of people hurt. So that is about it for the show today, though, guys. TradeFly, what's going on today? There's a big thing going on today. What is it?
There is a massive thing going on. Me and OC have just become frenemies. Tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern, Trading Wars. Me and OC Guy are in the finals, and we are also going against Bullish Trader. Catch us on, it's Crypto Wars on YouTube. The show is actually Trading Wars, but the YouTube channel is Crypto Wars. So we'll be on there with Crypto Keeper. He will be the host. Should be a pretty good turnout. We would appreciate your support, mixing it up in the chat a little bit. That'll be dope. I think they're trying to get Crypto Face on there today, just to mix it up with us. But yeah, should be good, man. This is it. This is for all the marbles, man. Let's see who the top dog is. I hope it's me or OC. That would be super awesome for the show. And hey, show you guys we're legit, man. So
hey, I want to tell you both that I am so proud of this team, that you guys are 66% of the finalists on this trade competition. You guys have faced some severe hardcore traders and have rose to the top. So congrats to you guys. I'm proud of you. So
yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even had that chance. So it's super cool.
If it weren't for you, being who you are, I wouldn't have brought you on here. You gave me all the tools to put you where you need to be, bro. So OC, you got anything for the people on the way out, man?
Absolutely. First of all, also want to thank you, Piper. I mean, you've been a great captain of the ship, and I really appreciate the friendship that all of three have a bit developed. I mean, I really, really appreciate that. Hopefully, we have a great and bright future. Treadfly, I know we're gonna be frenemies today, but best of lucks. I mean, I mean, we know that we're gonna be forced to trade. And yeah, I mean, I need to say I'm pretty nervous today, right? Especially with all the things that has been happening all across the board. And but yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. And let me remind you that you need to click that like button right down there, because if you do, Piper Academy might win this upcoming challenge. Do
I
not
love
waste
it.
that opportunity. See if that works. Click that like button and see who wins.
Love it, love it, love it, man. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us here today on Piper Academy. We appreciate you guys all being here. Shout out to Amy Lives Crypto. She's going to be here on Thursday, so don't miss that show. Don't forget to go join in on Crypto Trade Wars today. Crypto Wars is the actual show today on the channel. Trade Wars on Crypto Wars. That's it. Today we got OC Guy and Treadfly going to be on there taking it on and representing the Piper Academy. So make sure you guys join in on them. And then we'll be back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, looking at these charts, the markets, and the news, and everything that you guys need to know to make profit. Because knowledge is profit, and that's what we do here. Daily scoops of knowledge for you. So we're going to check you guys out tomorrow. Right now, we're about to go raid Randy Hipper's channel, so stick around and drop those graduate caps in the chat over there when you get there. Guys, we're out of here. Till then, trade safe, and as always, use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!